Hollywood infected, your brain, you want it kissing in the rain.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, dear spectators at home. Welcome to the William Brunton Show. Last week we discussed the family life in the past. Today we will have a look at the family today. As a warm-up, we will have a summary of last week's topic with some pictures of a traditional family in the past.
It's the American dream. American dream. It's the American dream. She is a Polish girl in America. Tall, tan, hot, blonde girl. I asked her, why would you wanna be a Hollywood wife? Because I don't wanna end up living in a diamond fire.
Welcome back to the William Brunton Show. Today I would just want to introduce you to our guests. First, the traditional family, Julian and Natalie. Now to the patchwork family, Gunay and Lena. So, Natalie and Julian, I've been told you have 13 children from the age of from 1 till 19. Can you tell me what is the life with that? Well, first, we will start with a little scene of such a big family in the bathroom.
Zähneputzen! Immer Zähne putzen! Lili, was machst du?
So, Natalie, what is your role in this extended family?
Well, I'm the homemaker, and my husband is a breadwinner. We have clearly defined duties. On a typical day, I get up at 5:30 and start to make breakfast for all children. At 6 o'clock, I wake up the children and we all have a breakfast together. At about 7:30, all children have left the house and I start doing the domestic work, such as cleaning, up doing the laundry, running, hovering, etc. Twice a week I go to the supermarket to buy food for my family, which sometimes takes 2 hours. So I have to plan well in advance. At 11 o'clock I start to make lunch. It's important for me that the children and my husband have a warm meal once a day. At 1:30 we all have lunch sitting together around the table. After lunch I help the children to do the homework. The elder children also help the younger, and at about 4 o'clock they do their chores before they have free time. At 5 o'clock my husband returns from work and I start to prepare dinner. We all have dinner at 6 o'clock and about 1 hour later I start to bring the children to bed. When all the children are asleep, I tidy up everything, talk with my husband and go to the bed at about 10 o'clock.
So, Natalie, thank you first. I have a question. Do you not miss anything in your life? What about your job? Some free time for yourself? And what's with your husband? Do you actually spend time with him?
I don't miss anything in my life. I have my husband, my children, and everything I want to do to care for them and see how they grow up and become decent member of society and start their own family.
Okay. I see. Thank you, Natalie. Now to Julian. Julian, what is actually your contribution in this family?
My contribution? I'm the breadwinner. I'm a factory worker and I'm responsible to earn and organize the money. I give the money to my wife and I think she needs to buy things like food or clothes and so on. I'm the head of the family and I lay down the rules. I am very strict and I want my wife and my children to observe the rules. I want my sons to learn how to earn living, to be able to have their own family with wife and a lot of children. I don't want my daughters to hang around with boys and I don't want them to go astray. I want them to become a decent person and marry a man as soon as they have finished school, so they can have their own family as well. It's not necessary for them to do any apprenticeships or even study. We are very religious and don't believe in all the things that seduce young people to lose their right way. You might think this attitude is old-fashioned, but I think it saves my children from doom.
Okay, thank you, Julian, for this really revealing explanations. But now we will come to the family of the future, a patchwork family. These will represent Lena and Gunay. We will start first with Lena. So Lena, would you want to tell the audience what you actually do?
We both are divorced and each of us has got 2 children who are teenagers already. My children attend a boarding school and Gunay's children live with their mothers, although they have joint custody. I expect a common baby, but we are not planning to marry because we think a family doesn't need a marriage certificate. We both work and I plan to go back to work soon after giving birth to my little baby because I have a profitable job. I'm a lawyer in a huge chancery. Gunay is going to look after the baby and only works part-time. At home we share a domestic work and decide everything together with our children.
Gunay, what do you think of this way of living? You are from Turkish origin and you're subordinated of a German woman.
Well, I don't make a fuss about it. I was born here in Germany and my parents raised me to be tolerant and open-minded.
Okay, thank you, Gunay. But where did you meet Elena? How did you get acquainted?
Yeah, I'm a taxi driver and Lena got into my car at the airport and I took her home. We talked a lot during the journey, but Lena left her smartphone in the taxi. I picked it up and 2 hours later I drove back to her home to bring it to her. She was so pleased and invited me for a cup of coffee, so that's how it all began.
Nice to hear that, Gunay. What is your role in the patchwork family?
Well, I sleep very long in the morning because I mostly work at night when I drive the taxi. I get up about 10 o'clock to have breakfast and do some domestic work afterwards. In the evening I prepare dinner and expect Lena to come back home at about 7 o'clock. Sometimes I pick her up with my taxi and we have dinner in a restaurant. I don't mind that Lena pays for it, as she's the breadwinner in our family. When the baby is born, I'm going to work part-time and look after the baby to support Lena's career as a lawyer.
Thank you very much for sharing with us. Before we go to discuss the different family types of the different ways of life, we will now have a commercial break and we'll be back in a few minutes. See ya!
After the baby. Sorry, komm ich nicht so an. Du Arsch.
Well, I'm a taxi driver and Lena got into... Nein.
Das, was Frau Müller markiert hat.
After the baby to support Lena's career as a lawyer.
Lawyer.